which one are we talking about, God or Jesus?
Both.
Okay. So why do you believe that God exists?
If we didn't have God, then how can we have babies that grow up to be adults?
Yeah, there's this theory of sexual reproduction. I don't want to be. I apologize. I'm not trying to be overly silly about this, but we know where babies come from. I don't see why that requires the intervention of a supreme being or whatever you want to find God. I mean, it's a purely natural occurrence.
Well, in your opinion,
no,
you would say
in reality,
about science and the knowledge of babies.
No, in reality, it's not just an opinion.
In the room.
It's not just an opinion. In reality, the creation of life, the baby that you're talking about, is a purely natural occurrence. A sperm and an egg meet, it's fertilized, it begins cell division, DNA is replicated, and it builds a new human. And there's nothing in the process that requires the presumption of some kind of transcendent governing intelligence to manipulate anything.
Because the way I look at it is, once you are nothing, then you're something in return as nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I used to not exist, I exist now, and eventually I won't exist again.
Correct.
Is that true for you?
Yes, sir.
So when you're dead, it's over?
When it's over, it's over.
So what, I mean, you called yourself a Christian before, but now you're saying that when you're dead, you're dead. So you're not going to heaven?
Yes, I am. But the life that we have on this planet will not exist. But you're living in a better place with the spiritual realm that has a better way of living than this one.
And what part of you goes there?
Your spirit, your soul.
And what makes you think that there is such a thing as a soul?
Because there is a soul in every human being. There's a being within yourself that has enough energy that shows compassion for other people.
Is it an energy we can measure, like with a meter or anything? I mean, is there any way to show that a soul exists?
Souls do exist, sir.
Well, I understand you believe that. I promise I'm not trying to be mean. I know you believe that. I'm just asking what the justification is. And if I ask, why do you believe that souls exist, and you come back both times with souls just exist, I don't know. I don't know if that would be convincing.
See shows that have like haunted mansions or something, and they have scientists to come in and have videotapes.
Yeah.
And then you take a look and see what's inside of that place, and you might see real evidence that souls do exist.
Yeah, except that there is no evidence. This is the problem that I have with all these rampant ghost hunter shows and other kind of nonsensical supernatural shows is they give people the impression that they're actually producing some kind of evidence of a real phenomenon, and they're not. If there was even the slightest bit of confirmable, scientifically reliable evidence that ghosts ghosts exist and that they're souls of people who used to live, that would be front page. CNN would be talking about this nonstop. It would trump Anna Nicole Smith's death and whatever else you can come up with. This would be the only topic of conversation worldwide. Life as we know it would change completely. Presuppositions that are the foundations of science and naturalism, they would have to be completely reevaluated. Wars would stop. This would be one of the biggest possible things anybody could discover, and everybody would be talking about it. And research in other areas would probably pause so that we could divert more funds to finding out what this is, because nothing could possibly be much more important than finding out that death isn't the end. And that's not the case. What do you see? You see late night shows with a handful of guys with a little meter and a black and white shaky cam running around in houses scaring themselves to death over nothing. There's no good evidence for any of this. And another thing is that, the James Randi Educational Foundation has had a $1 million prize for anybody who can demonstrate any evidence of any supernatural or paranormal claim for years. Nobody gets past the initial stages of submitting an application to see if you can do it. That goes for dowsers, astrologers, homeopathy they've tested, just anything. I mean, I understand that this stuff's convincing, but it's kind of, you need to check the reliability of your source and go out and investigate beyond just, ghost hunters on the Learning Channel, which, boy, it drives me crazy.
Are you from Austin, Texas?
Originally? No.
Yes.
No.
Try being born here for 37 years.
You've been born here for 37 years?
Yes, sir.
I feel sorry for your mom. Sorry, I couldn't pass that joke up. It was about taking 37 years to be born. But anyway, what was the point?
The point would be that there's a lot of miracles that do happen.
Okay, have you got any evidence for any of them?
It's basically a faith.
Yeah, okay. If you're just going to believe it because you're going to believe it, that's fine. I'm asking for justification that would make somebody else believe it. Why should I believe it? I mean, let's say, just toss out all the rest of the miracles. Let's say that God exists and He talks to you directly. I'm not saying that happens. Let's just pretend for a second. Why should I believe that happens? There's no way for you to demonstrate to me that this is actually happening.
Well, how about this? Mm-hmm. What about you fast for about 40 days?
40 days?
In the desert?
I'm pretty sure I think that would probably kill me. Plus, I like to eat. Should be obvious.
The only thing you have to eat is a cockroach in the water.
So now, I'll actually back up a second, because you're saying that if somebody fasts for a really long time, they'll hear God or get evidence of God?
Yes.
Yeah, and if you go talk to a doctor, you might find out that when you torture your body like that, your mind goes crazy and starts inventing things. It's no surprise to me at all that somebody who starves themselves for a long period of time starts to see gods. What's surprising to me is that the gods people always see when they're doing this fasting or when they have this near-death experience is always identical to the God they were raised in. You don't find Hindus seeing Jesus. You don't find Catholics seeing Ganesh. You see the God that you were raised with, the one that you're already familiar with, the one that you already believe with. If you had more examples of these near-death experiences in religious things where some Buddhist in the process of meditation, he saw the Virgin Mary on a cracker and converted, that might be news. But anyway, I got full lines. I got to let you go, James. I appreciate the call. Thanks very much.
All right.
If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude.